The BP50 assault rifle opens up playstyles that have not been possible before. With this class setup that I'll be sharing later in this video, the BP50 moves faster in Tac-Stance than when normally walking, which is the opposite of how weapons tend to function in this game. This is a really strong, really fun weapon to use, and I'm excited to share its stats and two class setups that I am thoroughly enjoying. I want to start off chatting about the BP50's handling in mobility, which is the most unique thing about this weapon. The BP50 has the fastest sprint to fire speed in class, and is tied for the fastest aim down sight speed in class. Now, this is not quite SMG level speeds, but it is very close and very impressive for an assault rifle. In my opinion, this is the first true assault rifle SMG hybrid that we're getting in Modern Warfare 3, especially when you consider the mobility. Movement speeds for the BP50 are standard for assault rifles, but its aim down sight strafe speed is incredibly faster. We're talking SMG caliber quickness here. What's even better is that the exclusive attachments available for the BP50, so we're talking the barrels, the stocks, even the magazines, give amazing benefits with minimal downsides. And it's these attachments that allow you to make the BP50 the fastest strafing weapon in the entire game and let you pull off wild plays like you're seeing in my gameplay. There's only a few weapons that can get near the BP50's strafe speed when fully kitted out, but those weapons have horrible recoil, as you can see, and they're nowhere as effective as the BP50 is. Accuracy is another strength for this weapon. Its recoil is incredibly low and on par with the MCW, which is famous for having low recoil and being easy to use. Something to be aware of though for the BP50 is its recoil ramps up halfway through the magazine. You should be able to notice this in the spray pattern. There's larger gaps between the shots on the top half compared to the bottom. Without optimal attachments, this is something that you may feel in game, but you won't need to worry about it with my class setups. The Tac-Stance for this weapon is incredibly powerful as well. Hopefully you've come to the same conclusion by now at this point in the video. This is not something that I regularly discuss in my videos, but the BP50 has the tightest Tac-Stance spread in the entire game. As I mentioned at the start, it's possible to move faster than normal walking speed when you are in Tac-Stance, and you can amplify that even more with the Stalker Boots perk, which I know everyone loves their covert sneakers, but I highly encourage you to try Stalker Boots on with this class, and you can pair that easily with the new Ninja Vest that's in the game if you want quieter footsteps. But I started off flicking into Tac-Stance with this BP50, and eventually I just transitioned into using Tac-Stance by default with this weapon. You can reliably hit your targets at mid-range, and they're going to struggle to keep up with you when you're strafing from side to side as quick as you are with this weapon. And then if you want to transition to normal ADS speed at any point, it's just as simple as a click of a button. So again, highly recommend you try out Tac-Stance with this. If you're uncomfortable with Tac-Stance or think Tac-Stance is a clunky mechanic and you don't use it, you're probably using the wrong settings. This is a mechanic that you should be regularly using. I've uploaded a video sharing the best Tac-Stance settings and why Tac-Stance gives you a huge advantage over someone not using it, and I'll have that video linked on the screen at the end and in the comments so you can get up to speed. Now, obviously, the BP50 must pack some decent damage to warrant using it, and that is true, but you do need to be careful with how you use it because it's not going to always be great. It will start off as a 5-shot kill to anywhere in the body, then it will drop off to a 5 to 6 shot kill between 14 and 19 meters, and you'll need to land your shots to the upper chest for that faster time to kill. And that faster time to kill is 280 milliseconds. Now technically you can drop this down even faster, but you'll need to land all 4 shots to the head to get a 4-shot kill with this, and that's not that practical to do. But 280 milliseconds is very solid. It's competitive with a lot of the SMGs currently in this game, and in terms of assault rifles, there's 2 Modern Warfare 2 assault rifles that can beat the BP50, but those weapons handling and mobility is notably slower than what you're getting with the BP50. This weapon will then drop to a 6-shot kill anywhere to the body between 19 and 35 meters, and then it will fall off to a 7 to 8 shot kill beyond 35 meters, which is a very short minimum damage range, and a lot of other assault rifles will outgun you. And even when you get to the 20 meter range, that's when the BP50 starts to fall behind most of the assault rifles in this game. And this is something that I do feel in game when I use this weapon. A fun fact, actually, the BP50 has the same exact time to kill values as the Striker 9 SMG, and it has very similar range drop-offs as well. So if you're familiar with how SMGs feel at long range, that is how the BP50 feels. However, the BP50 is way more accurate and has better bullet velocity than most SMGs, which makes it much more practical to use at those ranges. And then at extreme ranges, we're talking like around 50 meters where all assault rifles are dealing their minimum damage. The BP50 is pretty decent. It's not the fastest killing assault rifle, it's not the slowest killing assault rifle. It's kind of somewhere in the middle of the pack. So that wraps it up for stats. Let's dive into the class setups you've seen me using in the gameplay. The first of the two here is my Tac and Strafe build, which consists of the Moat 40 stock, the LHT 200 barrel, and the XRK BW4 hand stop. And these three attachments are primarily boosting your ADS strafe and movement speeds, as well as your handling and recoil control at the cost of a little bit of range and bullet velocity. I then have the CQC tac tape, which will boost your sprint to fire speed and Tac-Stance spread. Then lastly, the ULO 66 laser, which will improve your hip fire and Tac-Stance spread. Now, if you want absolute maximum strafe speed, you could swap this laser for the 20 round mag, which will give you the fastest strafe speed possible, but I do find 20 rounds was too little to use, and I'd prefer a better Tac-Stance spread with the laser because that's how you'll primarily be using this weapon. And you've seen the gameplay with this class setup. This gives you insane mobility. You have a sub 200 millisecond aim down sight speed, great sprint to fire, hip fire, and Tac-Stance, and you retain a decent bullet velocity and recoil that makes this build usable like an assault rifle at mid to long ranges. But this does specialize in close to mid-range combat, and it's essentially a no downsides build. Now, if you're looking for a more traditional assault rifle, you'll want to try out these attachments. The only downside to this loadout is that it harms your mobility, but you still have faster mobility than most assault rifle builds, and you have much faster handling, and you retain that 3.5 meters per second strafe speed, which is incredibly fast. You also have great bullet velocity, the recoil goes straight up and is incredibly easy to control, plus you have a suppressor, which is always nice to have. So that brings us to the last section of the video, my rating out of 5 stars for the BP50. So you can take this rating and compare it to other weapons I've reviewed in other worst to best. Now, the BP50 is an incredibly strong weapon and easily 4 out of 5 stars, but I need to give this thing 5 out of 5 stars. It's a faster killing weapon, it's a faster handling weapon, it's going to naturally have faster mobility no matter how you build this. It definitely loses power at range, but it's easy to hit shots and you can use this like an assault rifle. I think it's the first weapon that actually functions like a submachine gun as well. It's actually so good that it actually renders the bottom of the barrel submachine guns useless in this game. I don't know why you would use a weapon like the WSP9, for example, when the BP50 is going to kill faster than it at close range, going to move faster than at close range. Yeah, maybe the sprint to fire is going to be faster on the actual SMG, but you can also use the BP50 like an assault rifle. So if a weapon's successfully performing at the top of 2 weapon classes, I think that warrants a 5 out of 5 stars. One of the best meta weapons currently in Modern Warfare 3. You definitely should prioritize unlocking it if you haven't already. That's just my opinion though. If you do disagree, you're always welcome to share your opinion in the comments. Check out the Tac-Stance video or more worst to best that are popping up on the screen right now. But don't forget to tap like on this video before you take off and consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. My name's D. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.